Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to our actual second live stream Q&A with Aro. So I'm actually quite excited because this time we are having with us like the director and the producer of Jesus Show You the Way to the Highway. So the film is currently available on our platform, the Aro Video channel in the UK and in the US, and also in digital download. And as I'm pretty sure most of you have seen on our social media platform, we've announced a couple of weeks ago that we're going to do like a limited Blu-ray edition that's going to be released in September 14 in the UK and September 15 in the US and in Canada. So now I'm just going to very quickly launch the trailer. So just to get you in the mood of what's going to happen for the next 45 hours. And then I'm going to get the guys with me now. So here you go.
Welcome to Psychobook.
The virus is striking again.
Damn Russians. They're infecting the whole system.
Lieutenant Palmer, Agent Gagano, tonight you will be facing Operation Jungle.
The CIA believes that the Soviet Union virus is planning to take over Psychobook.
Your mission is to retrieve samples.
Come see this.
I've got the virus. We need your assistance right now.
Lieutenant!
Round one, fight!
What the hell happened inside?
Operation Jungle is now in our hands.
The virus is hacking the whole system.
Is the CIA aware that you're sending 2 men to their probable death?
No agent dies inside Psychobook. It's just a virtual reality.
Here comes the most interesting part of the story.
Round two, fight!
That midget is more important than you can imagine.
How do I know you're not a figment of my imagination?
Don't you see, Agent? Operation Jungle, the CIA, this is just a virtual projection.
Wake up, Gagano!
And we're back. So that's my pleasure just to welcome Miguel Alonso, the director of the film, and Sergio Guederisari, the producer of the film. So thank you guys for taking the time to actually have this Q&A with us tonight. That's really appreciated.
Thank you, Caroline, for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, Caroline, and hello, everybody.
Hello.
Are you ready to ask...
A lot of questions to Miguel Alonso.
Well, hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But just as a very quick start, do you just want to start maybe talking about your background and how come you started working together? Because actually, I believe that you've known each other since you were kids, right?
Oh, yes, we have. We've known each other since like 8th grade. No, 4th grade. 4th grade. So I don't know. I don't remember how old you are when you're in 8th grade, in 4th grade. 8 or 9.
Sergio and I made a band, a punk band, but then he was singing so bad that we I mean, we push him out. but then you know, we made other stuff, you know. But he was not the best singer in the world.
No.
Okay.
I suck.
So you started in the music industry before actually turning into the film industry?
No, it was not an industry.
There's no industry. It's like a hobby. You know. Miguel is a drummer. And actually, because I see that I can share my screen and I have a great archive, I've been digging, and if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, no, sure, go ahead. That's completely fine.
That was no plan, man.
This is not the plan.
he has been waiting like 20 years for his revenge, because we throw him out from the music band. I'm sure, like.
Well, I don't want to get involved in that, but
No. We have to do
please
it.
go ahead.
We have to do it.
Okay.
Hold on. Look, yeah. Do you see it?
I don't see anything.
Oh, you don't see my screen?
Well, I don't see your screen though. I'm sorry, but.
Oh, thank God! Woof! Heart attack.
Okay, well,
okay.
By the time you're gonna figure that out, that's no worries. So, just quickly, maybe like, do you want to talk about how did you come with the idea of Jesus shows you the way to the highway? How did that pop up in your mind, and how did it happen?
Well, it was a collection of ideas, more than one single idea, and so basically. I know how the end came. I was lost in Almeria with my girlfriend. We were driving in the desert, and suddenly we were totally lost. And we were gonna be cooked like a fried eggs there, But suddenly, in the top of the mountain, we saw like one of these big sculptures. No, yes, of Jesus Christ, and he was pointing at the highway, and he saved us, basically. Yeah, and then I say, I don't know how the film is going to start, but I know how it's going to end. It's going to end like of Jesus showing the way to the highway. But actually, I don't know. I lost the track where I wanted to make the film. I think it was kind of a collection of things. Another night, I dreamt I was a disgusting fly. And my former girlfriend was telling me, like, we cannot be together, Miguel. You are a disgusting fly, and I don't know. I mean, it was kind of a collection of things. But basically, also, I wanted to make a film with my friend Daniel Tadese Gagano. So and when I come to work with Gagano, I always come to think about tragicomedies. So basically. Very easy stories, tragic comedies, a hero that must come back home, like the Odyssey or something like that. So I don't know. I think I didn't reply, but anyway.
Well, I think that was the question that was asked, like, what was your inspiration for the movie? So I think you've touched upon, if you want to add anything on that, or...
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it was kind of more a lasagna more than a single inspiration. A lasagna, like 3 or 4 ideas a series of ideas start to pile up. So then I say, how do I build the story? And then I thought about this, the essence of a tragic comedy. Somebody get lost and has to come back home, or discover what's home for him, or try to purchase his own dreams or something like that.
It's also the theme of Crumbs.
Yes, it's the same.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Did the inspiration? So just a quick thing for the people actually watching us. So Crumbs is actually your first feature film with Daniel, so the same actor, the same lead actor is also like starring in that film. And actually, we've included it in the limited edition Blu-ray. So that's how you're going to be able to see it when it's going to be released later in the year as well. So is that? And I think Crumbs is more like a sci-fi romantic comedy, like more as a film. Yeah, and was that like the same kind of inspirational process that you've had for Jesus and you had for Crumbs, because the storyline are actually quite different for the films?
Yes, I mean, in the at the core of this, the stories are quite similar, which is like the importance of a person in front of the big powers of the universe, which is basically the essence of a tragedy. The hero is in the hands of the gods that are playing with him. In this case, the gods are Batro, Stalin, George Bush, and Jesus Christ, and some other. But it's the Greek gods can be playing with. And in the case of Crumbs, it was a little bit the same. A person that tries to find the meaning of life in a world that is kind of falling in pieces or falling apart. So in both cases, we have a hero which is essentially lost, and tries to find the meaning of life or the meaning of, and then kind of is wrapped in a different kind of envelope with a lot of horror, vacui, and crazy ideas on the top. But the idea, the essence is very simple.
Do you? Oh, sorry.
Are we supposed to answer the questions that are popping up on the screen?
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's me. That's actually me doing that, just so you can see them as well, because that's the audience question. Sorry.
Okay.
So yes, I think they would really appreciate if we can reply to their questions. But do you want to start talking a bit about how long was the filming, the production time of the film, and how was
very
that?
Very long, very excruciating. But because we did it in stages, so normally you shoot a movie, you do however many days, and you shoot the whole thing, and then you go to post production, and instead we were like shooting maybe 10-15 minutes, getting it, and then looking for money to raise to shoot the rest and continue. But it worked out well because everything was a different country, so we isolated that way, and that made it easier. So really, instead of making like one film at a time, we were making like a bunch of short films, I guess.
Because on that, so how did it work out on your side? Because I've known that you actually financed part of the film with a Kickstarter campaign. So do you want to discuss a bit about that, and also about the fact that I think you've raised a couple of European funds, but because part of the location was also Ethiopia, but you couldn't use those part of funds here. So how did you get all that together to actually came to the finished product?
Well, we caused a lot of noise, right? And the moment you start causing a lot of noise, everybody wants to be involved. So nobody believes in the project in the beginning, and then as you start walking and start showing people, then it's like, oh well, on second thought, let me think about it, and now we're here. Started in the bottom, now we're here.
But that's because also we made the films with our friends, so exactly. We don't have many big problems of financing because we always start with our friends. And then the ball starts kind of rolling. And for instance, the public fundings, they don't want to support us because they read the screenplay and they say what is that? We want European dramas, not this shit.
Exactly.
And then it's okay, so we made the crowdfunding and it was successful, and more people are coming into the team. And now we have Paddy Eason, who also makes the visual effects for Mission Impossible and for Harry Potter. And now he's part. No, it's true. And he's doing that on the weekends as a side job for us because he's doing these big productions. So because people like to be involved, they like it, and then we got accepted into Frontiers in Cannes and Fantasia Festival. So the people, the public funds start to get anxious. They are gonna make it, and we are not gonna be involved. And then
like Andy Stark, who is executive producer, responded to the material immediately. So they saw, same with all our other co-producers. They see what we're trying to do. The problem with the movies with Miguel is that they're so complex that you have to show people, because if not, they go back to does it have commercial value or not? Because like he said, they want European dramas, or they want films that, to me, most of them are shit, honestly.
Is that also part of the reason why you wanted to go back to Ethiopia to film there, because you got maybe more freedom or more support from the team over there? Because
no, especially it's more emotional than the support. But of course, in Ethiopia we have a lot of friends. The one part of our producers. Our producer partners are from Ethiopia. Daniel Taye and Meseret Argao, they are from Ethiopia, and they are also co-financiers of Crumbs. and also Daniel is from there, and we love the landscapes and the people of Ethiopia. So for us, it's kind of easy because I lived so many years in Ethiopia that it was kind of easy for me to come back, and you don't have to do anything with the sets because the sets, they already exist. You know, you just go and rent the places, and the places are so wonderful that they really make you imagine, and they take you to another time. They take you to the 70s, and it's amazing. Hey, I see some friends there among the Jamie, Jeffrey. Hello.
Oh.
I see some friends on the chat. You wanted to say hello, no? Because we okay, hi guys.
Okay, great.
Sorry, I lost the train of thought.
Completely fine. Do you want to maybe because I think you've said a couple of times that you work with the same team, like for Crumbs and for Jesus. How did that started? And I think that's also a question also for the cast with Daniel, because that was your 4th collaboration with him. So how did the team actually get together? Because now obviously you're friends, and I'm guessing this is, like, as you mentioned, a huge help for you to get that thing through. But how did that started? If we take it at the very start of the journey, basically.
Well, with Sergio, I know him since we are, as we said, since we are 7 years old, 8 years old. And then Israel, I know him for the director of photography for more than 20 years. Jesus Christ in the film is my brother, so I know him
very
pretty
well.
much. So, and also Abu is a friend of mine, and yeah, so everything. Israel, the DP, I know him for 20 years because we were doing films in Spain, like they were, I mean, short films and things like that, and like 20 years ago, and we didn't go anywhere. But anyway, that's another story. But and then yes, so and then I since I was playing in different bands in Madrid, I know people that make the soundtrack, part of the soundtrack, and yeah, so it's quite easy to start a project like that. Actually, I don't remember when physically we start Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway. I remember that I was with Israel and Abu and Guille doing some stop motion at my cousin's, and that became a film, you know. So having friends make you not waiting for the financing, but start improvising something and start shooting, and that kind of evolves. Then you write the screenplay, and then you put the things together. But I don't make a film and then I stop and I then make the other film. We are always working. Actually, I know we're working with Sergio in another film, so we are always doing stuff together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think because I remember seeing Night in the Wild, or ¿cómo lo llamas en inglés? Night in the Wild Garden.
Sí, Night in the Wild Garden, I think.
Yeah, which is stop motion, and this was like I think it was while we were doing Crumbs, and I thought it was amazing. No, that Miguel was playing with stop motion with humans in that film. You know, I think it's Guille also.
It's Guille.
Yeah. And so I thought, well, is there any way we can insert that into Crumbs? But it didn't make sense. So Miguel continued to play with that, and then he made what became Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway, which is the sequence with the cockroaches.
Yes.
So he shot that before anything, you know, and then we worked from there.
So
yeah, because
go ahead.
Sorry. No, because Sergio, he was moving from Finland to Hollywood. That he lives in Los Angeles now, and I would say, like, Sergio, you know, I have another idea, and I think he was like, "Oh no, man, I don't have any more money."
But I remember because I went in Tallinn. I was in Tallinn. I was sleeping on that couch where Miguel is sitting, and then I hadn't seen anything, and he showed me the stop motion.
No, first I told you, I sent you the screenplay, but you say, no, well, I'm in another I'm doing another stuff.
Until I saw the stop motion sequence, and then it's like, oh, this is amazing. We have to make this. And now it's on Blu-ray in September. Make sure you pre-order.
Yes, that's true. So it means like from what I understood, like you have a very like fluid way of actually working. So all your projects are kind of like linked together or tied together in a sort of way. So I think my next question is going to be in terms of Crumbs, because obviously that was shot in Ethiopia as well. Did you, while you were there, were you already like looking for your future location for what would become Jesus at that stage as well? Was that already like such a project in your mind that you were already like thinking about what you could use? Because I think like you've got like 2 or 3 like major Ethiopian like landmark, like the Dalol volcano, if I'm not mistaken, for Crumbs, and the Blue Nile Falls for Jesus. If that's correct, yeah.
I knew the locations before, because when I was in Ethiopia, actually, I think I had more locations that what I can include in Crumbs. So I wanted to to show even more locations from Ethiopia, but I didn't have time in Crumbs to show, for instance, the Nile waterfalls, the Blue Nile waterfalls, and other places like that I like very much in Ethiopia, like the places from the 60s. There in Addis Ababa, there are a lot of still a lot of places like from the 60s. So and they were so fascinating, but in Crumbs I didn't have time enough to show them. So basically, I collect them all when I was living in Addis Ababa back in 2008 until 2011, and I knew them. And during Crumbs, maybe I discovered 1 or 2 more, but basically, yeah. And I wanted to make a film on the 60s in Ethiopia, like called Swinging Addis, about the music of the 60s in Ethiopia. And it's a science fiction film, but also it's a science fiction, but with all the vibe from the 60s and all the rock and roll and everything, but nobody financed it. So I say, fuck it. And then nobody financed it. So I'm still sending the screenplay around. Maybe I should try with Arrow, but
just put the word out there. Anyway, that's fine. Go ahead.
Well, but the thing is that the places they start to they are not start to disappear. They're falling apart, and they are building new buildings, and so all the magical places from the 60s are disappearing. So I was kind of in a rush to show the places and to keep the memory of these wonderful places. If some of you go to Ethiopia, I see Gonzalo here. Gonzalo lives in Addis Ababa, and he knows that several places are kind of disappearing.
And what about your other locations then? Because you've also shot in Estonia, Latvia, and Spain, I believe.
Yeah, well, in Spain it was it was Almeria, where Sergio Leone shot all the films with Clint Eastwood, scored by Ennio Morricone. Almeria, a wonderful place. We tried to shoot in the same town where all these kind of legendary films were shot, but it was so expensive that we stole another place, like close by. I mean, not still. We went to another place that was totally abandoned, but it was also this ranch, the ranch from the 60s, and in Estonia and in Latvia we shot in a bunker from the Soviet times. It was a bunker with 50 rooms, the biggest bunker in the East Europe, I think, or in the Baltics. I don't remember. You can visit it. It's incredible. I mean, you pay like 10 euros a day, and it was made for the the politicians. So in case of a nuclear war, everybody dies, but the politicians survive maybe 2 months, two more months than the rest of the humanity. So they are always one step ahead. And yeah, and many places from Soviet times in Estonia as well. like the KGB room. That Sergio knows about the KGB room.
Yeah, in the Viru Hotel. Viru Hotel in Tallinn, in Estonia.
Yeah. There is a room that it was used by KGB to spy the whole hotel, more than 500 rooms. So we turned this KGB room into a CIA room, which was kind of ironic.
And how was it then? Because Crumbs is entirely shot in Ethiopia. So was that like for Jesus, like a real? Did you had in mind to actually have several locations? Was that for budgeting reason, or was that just because you wanted to just show that mix of culture, or was that because like you just end up with like how you developed the idea and the various inspiration for Jesus actually?
I think it was organic to the story. I think it was organic to the story, no? Because the story, Miguel always had the idea of different realities, and every reality had to be completely different. And he went as far as saying like, and I want a different texture for each reality also. So that's the reason why, it just fit. It was convenient in a way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You say it very well.
Oh, okay.
Sergio.
That was great. And then do you have like a bit of behind the scenes things you want to share, like funny anecdotes or anything that happened on set that's got like your favorite memory or like your favorite like place shots or anything?
I was wondering about the video.
I'm sure Sergio knows a couple of good anecdotes about you're talking about festivals or you're talking about shooting?
About everything you want. I was thinking about shooting first, but then I'm happy like just to expand to festival as well though.
No, I mean this shooting was very, very easy and everything went very smooth. Some surreal things, for instance, were in Ethiopia. We went to the Blue Nile waterfalls, and so the villagers were coming. So we dressed somebody like Batman, and we started kind of a kung fu fight in the middle of nowhere. We didn't know where to get the kung fu's, but actually somebody told us. I think who was telling us? Well, I think Gonzalo. Somebody was telling us that there is these guys that make some kung fu and everything. So we went there, and actually one of the kung fu guys was the second in the world, the sub-champion of the world in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So they were much better than we expected. They were kind of super champions. So we expected to have some kung fu fights like more or less like very B serious, but actually they made an incredible job. We were kind of fit for a Bruce Lee film, and I mean, incredible. And another great anecdote: we went to these caves where the kung fu fights take place, where they were made by a guy, somebody, Johannes, my former line producer, told us, I go to these caves in the middle of Sashemane, where the Rastafaris go to smoke and to some marijuana and to live there. Shashamane, the place. So then we went there, and the guy has built during 40 years a system of caves by himself, just an old guy. And he said that an angel came 40 years ago in my dreams and told me you have to build these caves. And then the guy builds the cave during 40 years, and now he's about to pass. And then he goes to the church and say, like, here are my caves for you, for the Orthodox Church. And the Orthodox Church says, like, no, we don't want the caves. Like, he was not an angel. It was the evil who came into your dreams. And it's like, fuck. And what I'm going to do with the caves now? So he was renting for the caves for some young couples to make love there at night. Yeah, I think much more beautiful than the church things. Yeah, because that, you don't have you have a girlfriend, you don't have a place to be with her. You rent the caves of the guy. Yeah.
Well, sharing the love apparently, so that's good to know.
If you go to Shashemane and you want to be with your boyfriend, you know where to go.
Thank you. Any anecdote on your side, Sergio?
No, not really. I tend to, I don't know. I have to think about it. I don't think of anecdotes.
No worries. Okay, I'm going to leave you a bit of time then. On completely another note, what happened with all the special effects and the stop motion pixelization? Because I think at first you actually wanted to shot the entire film like that. So what happened? Why it's not the case?
What happened is that after 10 days of shooting, we had like 2 minutes of film. So, you know, we put everything together. We were very fascinated about this stop motion because, you know, for instance, you make this, then you make another picture, another picture, another picture, another picture, another picture, and then like this until you disappear. And then you put all to shit, and then it goes, you know, like 40 frames per second. So then you create the movement. So we were doing all these things, we put the movement together, and we were shooting 10 days, and it was like 2 minutes of film, you know. And then we said, like, we have to be shooting the films during 150 years, and and somebody has to inherit our film, like the cathedrals in the Gothic times, you know, that somebody inherit and continue the.
God came to Miguel and told him to make the movie.
Yeah, like the guy in the caves.
Exactly.
The same absurdity.
Exactly.
A little bit like also like this boat on the like how you call it, Fitzcarraldo. Like the boat on the Fitzcarraldo, no? That Herzog, that he wanted to pull the boat over the mountain, the big boat, but he realized that it was.
Okay, sorry. I just got because I just got the French translation for me now. So okay, sorry, I have no clue how we say that in English either. So okay.
Wait, what? You're receiving a French translation into your what?
No, I'm French, but that's what I was saying, because the way you said it, I was not. I didn't know how to say it in English either. So that's why I was like, I needed time to actually find the equivalent of it for me. And then what was your strategy when you got Crumbs as well finished, or even like Jesus, in terms of getting the word out and getting like all those incredibles like festivals, awards, and actually submission and everything. So how did you approach that, and what was your game plan on that front? Did you expect that much how can I say, that much good receptions for the festival, or
well, basically we build on what we've done in the past, because that's what makes sense. We're not going to reinvent the wheel every time. So Crumbs did 150 festivals.
Not 50, like 20.
120 festivals. But
you're right. Let's be precise on that one. So, yeah.
We did a lot of festivals. So by the time we made Jesus, it was expected that at least these festivals would consider programming the film. And we've had a great reception until the virus pretty much screwed it up for us, which stopped, and now it's picking up again, but
we always want to, the same way that we make friends. I mean, we don't understand. We are not very industrial people, like we like to keep track of the people that help us, and we help, and and we like to be audience, and we like to be filmmakers. So we try to make friends more than like release a product. And so we are trying to be loyal with the people that love us. Exactly. And for instance, Fantasia, Mitch Davis has helped us always a lot, and also Neuchâtel, Anaïs, and Marie has helped us a lot. So we try to be a little bit loyal, because we believe that the people like the way we make films, it's gonna be great, no? Like
it's a relationship business.
It's a relationship. Yeah,
we value the relationships.
We believe in lifetime relations, you know.
Exactly.
So you cannot get rid of us now.
Exactly. No, now we're in. You know, Arrow Video is our favorite.
It's the kiss of death. like,
Well, no worries. I'll pass on that messages to the entire team. So we're gonna get ready for the next project. So
Exactly. You're family now.
Sorry?
You are our family now.
Well, let's just all be a big family. That's all good for me then. Then in that case, do you have what do you have in the pipeline? Are you going to do your next project together? Which I'm assuming yes. Is that already is it obviously the situation? I'm sure just change the plans if you had any. But is that already do you have already loads of inspiration coming onto your mind, or a rough idea of which way you want to go, or those kind of things?
Yeah, totally. I mean, but now I have also producers from Estonia, but it's probably going to be an international co-productions, but they want to shoot something here in Estonia. The company is called California, and they are super great guys. I don't know if they are seeing me, since they are also my new bosses. I have to be nice with him. Hey guys, I don't know them, but they are very nice guys, and I enjoy a lot talking to them. And so I think Sergio will be, hopefully, in charge of also getting more international co-producers, and we try to build something step by step in this coming year. But probably gonna be shot in Estonia.
Completely, or you still hoping?
No, I'm open.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah, but it's a story. It's a teenager story, so teenagers. So I mean, maybe it's not happening in Estonia, but it's happening it's probably one location. It's more like Twin Peaks, that happens in one town. And so yeah, maybe it could be in the United States. It could be in the UK. I don't have any preference. But now, since the producers, the main financiers are from Estonia, but I think we will see.
Then quick question from the audience. Any sequel of Jesus Plan?
Good question.
The level was there. You're going to have to do even better now.
Let's wait and see how many Blu-rays they pre-order.
Yeah.
We have to save money again. No, I would love to shoot more in Ethiopia. If not a sequel, more with the same basis, same actor. I would love to shoot there and continue. But sometimes Ethiopia is very challenging because there are no funding. There are no funds, and the funds normally they want you to shoot in the place where they are giving you the fund. If the Estonians give me a fund, they want to shoot in Estonia, which is understandable with Estonian crew, because they want the money to stay in the country and they want to make something so it's quite difficult to financing something in Ethiopia. That I tried with my film of the 60s, rock and roll and 60s in Ethiopia, but nobody wants to finance it. Maybe there is somebody millionaire among the audience. So. Hey, somebody wants to finance?
Exactly. Some money to spare.
Well, we're calling for help. We need some millionaires coming.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could go back to Ethiopia, but for the next film, at least, it's going to be quite challenging. Yeah.
And in terms of cast, I was just thinking, for Crumbs, I don't know her name, but the lead actress is actually really, really good. Is there any particular reason why she's not in Jesus? Because you tend to work with the same crew, the same team, the same friends, the same family and everything. Is there any particular reason why she wasn't involved in that project?
No, in this case, since we made the production or co-production with Estonia, we also have to include Estonian main lead actress, and also it makes a little bit more sense that it was that the wife of Gagano, if he's living outside the reality of Ethiopia, that the wife is from the north of Europe. And so and it was easier. Also, it was difficult to bring a lot of actors because we didn't have budget to bring many people from Ethiopia. So what we do is try to adapt, try to bring the same people in, but trying to adapt the teams to the situations. For instance, the first time I went to Ethiopia, I went just with Israel, with the director of photography. We were making the Kung Fu stints, two people. And yeah, the scene was shot by two people. That was the crew plus the Kung Fu. But when we went when we were shooting in Estonia, we were like 10 or 12. So, which is like, wow, what a big team. Yeah, but we're 10 or 12. So it depends on what we are going to shoot. We select the team. Of course, I want to include as much as possible my friends, but sometimes it's like Sergio, for instance, I want him to come to Ethiopia. Maybe he was able to do some behind the scenes, right? We were thinking but I mean, we have to super maximize the budget.
Yeah, because basically, we're working on such low budgets that all of the money goes to what you see on the screen, pretty much.
Yeah. Trips. I mean, if you go to the end of the world, like Dalol, in Crumbs.
Hotels, that sort of thing.
Okay. So is your next project do you think you're going to be able to get Daniel on board then? Because he's kind of your muse now.
I'm kind of squeezing my head to see how do I put Daniel in the teenagers film. Because, the problem is for me...
play a teenager.
I don't know, man. I don't know how to do it because... people want more commercial things. Crumbs and Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway were very successful. I'm very glad. I made a lot of friends and were very successful. But the balance between budget and well, we are in the middle of the distribution, so we don't know how far are we going. I cross my fingers, but it's very difficult because or we really show that we are able to go far with the distribution of these things, of these films, or it's very difficult to get producers on board that believe on these kind of dream-like films. That's the truth. It's a little bit sad. So they push you always to make something a little bit more commercial, and so I don't know. I have to think about how do I include Daniel in a film shot in Estonia with 3 teenagers. I don't know what he's gonna do. But yes, I have a plan B, which is make a documentary on him, in Addis Ababa, about his life, but kind of a surreal documentary, not fantasy mixing fantasy with reality. Because Addis Ababa is a place where perfectly, you can find an alien in a bar, or you can find a Michael Jackson still dancing all around. So yeah, I think if I do a documentary on Daniel, I will include Michael Jackson dancing, and different people in Addis Ababa. Yeah.
Well, be careful, because now you're setting expectation for people to actually see that. So
yeah, but most of them, then they will support the crowdfunding, I hope.
Well, the word is out as well. Well, I'm just a bit time conscious because I know that Sergio, you're having some meetings at Berchan at the moment. So
I'm in the middle of meetings, but they don't start till 5 for a project I'm working on in NAF Bucheon in Korea. So the meetings are scheduled according to Korea time, so they go from 5 p.m. till 2 in the morning, basically.
Well, that's going to be a long day for you, though.
Yeah, but it's been 2 or 3 days already, and I've gotten used to it.
That's good.
Yeah, I kind of like the fact, because I'm kind of in isolation, because here in Hollywood where I am, it's kind of a disaster. So I spend maybe 3 or 4 days straight in my apartment, which is terrible. I'm going insane.
Well, I hope you're not going to go too insane, though.
No.
It's already so.
A positive thing, you know. But I've been doing a lot of work. You know, I'm working on a few projects.
Do you want to mention them quickly, or is it like top secrets, just as a
No,
team?
So I'm working on the project that we have in NAF, which is a thriller, crime thriller with sci-fi elements in it, but the title is tentative, you know.
Okay.
And then I'm also, this is exciting. I'm working with Emerson Mactus and Bill Watterson on Bill Watterson's new Musician Monster movie. You know Bill? Because they've made a maze.
Yes.
So it's also an arrow. And then I'm working with two female directors to make movies, like one in Cuba, which is it's coming of age with sci-fi elements, fantasy sci-fi elements, and a movie in Madrid.
I didn't know about that. The last
It's
one.
kind of new. It's a good movie. It's like a nouvelle vague romantic comedy to like diversify, but with an indie feel to it, you know.
Okay.
There is one question that I have to reply from Jamie, because I really, if I had the opportunity to do a Philip K. Dick book adaptation, I will do two, because that I will. One is "Flow My Tears," the policeman says, and the other is Valleys.
Why?
These two. No, because they create an amazing world. Valleys with all this vibe from the 70s and kind of a road movie trying to discover the kind of the I don't know, like all this psychedelia world. Yeah, and Flow My Tears, the policeman said, because it goes again into the core of a person, and the core of what is identity, because he's a guy that is a famous presenter from TV, and one day he wakes, something happened and he's not famous anymore, but in 1 hour nobody recognizes him, nobody knows who he is. And so he kind of loses the condition of famous, but in a very strange way. And I don't know, that two books are really, really powerful and strange.
Well, Sergio, you know what's coming now.
We have to look for the rights and see if the book are available.
But I don't think I won't do any film based on a book, I think, because the books are there. The books are books, and for instance, I have this one which is amazing. Have you seen this one? It's a Tezuka, Osamu Tezuka Phoenix, a comic, a wonderful comic, and it could be it's from the 60s, and it could be, you can make so many films. The Japanese has so many great ideas for films and in comics, but the comics is there, like a white for it. I have also like some Alan Moore, but why? If the comics exist, why are you gonna do the film? No, the Watchmen. The comic is, the graphic novel is so great, and the film is kind of a repetition. I don't like it at all. I think it's shit. You don't. Sorry, you don't have it, right? You are not distributed.
No, but that's very clear. I got your point on that. I think we got time, if you have time, for a very last question from Anton. So do you want to discuss about the Afrofuturism and how integral was the idea of it in your concept of the film?
Yeah, for me, Afrofuturism is, when I approach Afrofuturism, is like how to think about the world from the African condition or African experience. Because I didn't born in Africa, I haven't born in Africa. So, but for me, I don't believe also very much in nationalities and this and that. So for me, it's like more like I have my African experience. I live there. I have my friends there. So that made me reflect about the world. So I didn't try to make any film about African traditions or African culture, nothing like that. I wanted to reflect about the world for what's happening in Ethiopia, which is basically a stark globalization and capitalism. To make it short.
Perfect. Well, I think time is running now a bit. So, well, thank you both for your time. Just a quick reminder that the Blu-ray, limited Blu-ray edition is going to be out, including Jesus Shows You the Way and also Crumbs on September 14 in the UK and September 15 in the US and Canada. So, well, I don't know, stay tuned. Hopefully it's going to work out all well. And then, yeah.
How exciting.
See you soon. And hopefully all your meetings goes well. And then everything can pick up in the festival as well. So that would be great, though.
But, I want to thank everybody that's watched us rumble, you know, and thank you thank you to everybody that supports us.
That's great. Thank you.
You know.
Yeah, some of them are there. Thank you, Jamie, and thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah. Thank you, Anton. Anton made a great job. Also, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you all.
Well, thank you both, and speak to you soon.
Hopefully, yeah, of course. Thank you.